Hello, everyone. Oh, you know what? I totally screwed up the intro, but I was going to start out with me as is, and then bring in my wonderful, awesome guest, who's also named Jared, who's here with me, Mind Trick Photography. But you know what? Why, spare you the pleasantries when we've got him right here? Mr. Jared Trick Photography. How you doing, man?
Good, tired, but happy to be here.
Good, me too. Did you have today off of work/school or anything?
Yes, I did, and thank God.
Yeah, I would say it was much needed for me as well. I did also have it off. So thank you to everyone who's here. We got Stubbs here, Trooper Effects, and MK500 Shell. Awesome. Everybody, Mike, you guys, Linda's here. Thank you so much for coming in, and I'm glad you are here because I think I'm really excited to talk with Jared today because I love looking at Jared's photos and toy photography because I whenever I see his photos, I feel like we have a very similar type of goal with our photos. Like, I don't know what it is when I see his, I'm like, that's really cool. Like, that's totally something that I would want to try and do too. Like, I don't know. I think we have a very similar mindset with stuff, action, really just like, I don't know. I'm a fan of his work. But, so Jared, first of all, tell me a little bit about Jared and tell me a little bit about Mind Trick Photography afterwards.
About Jared, well, I'm a big gamer. I play games not every day, but most of the time. I love playing like board games with the family too.
Oh, cool.
We're a very competitive family on top of that.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like cutthroat who's gonna win the game.
What kind of board games?
Well, we do play Sorry.
Ooh, classic.
And then we play card games as well, like Uno, just like some classic card games.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, like classic ones that have probably been in the household since the beginning.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
We got all the different iterations of Uno in our house.
Cool. Did you ever play Uno Attack? Did you ever play that one growing up? It was Uno, but like it was this like electronic thing, and anytime you had to take a card, you'd push a button. And
I've heard it.
Shoot out a card, and you could get like 20 cards shot out. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of that, but we haven't played that one.
Nice. And MK500 says, I see the PS5 in the background. Nice.
Yeah, I play on it at least 50% of the time.
Are you a hardcore PlayStation guy, like a Sony guy, or are you just like, you got a PS5 because it's got the games you like?
It's kind of not really back and forth. I grew up with the PS2, Star Wars Battlefront, loved it. And then got an Xbox 360, but then when the PS4 came out is when I switched back to Sony.
Okay.
And cool, I haven't left Sony since.
I like that because I feel like there's a artificial rivalry between. Maybe it's not artificial, but it's just like, why? Why do we have to?
I don't care about the rivalry. I just want to play games. That's all.
Same. Like I've got an Xbox. I'd love to have a PS5 too.
I've spent too much money on toys. I couldn't get an Xbox.
Yeah, that's not a terrible thing. That's for sure. Okay, so tell me about Mind Trick.
Well, I started almost a full year ago. Actually, February 1st it will be a full year of my.
Wow, happy almost anniversary.
But I've been wanting to take photos of toys and like just photography in general since I was like 8 years old. But looking back at my old photos, man.
Yes, no,
I could see the improvement.
There's always plenty, we can always look at our old photos and go, ugh, because I do that too. But I like looking at my old ones and being like, look how far I've come. Look how far I've come.
I think that's one thing is I'm like, wow, look how far I've come in just 1 year of it.
I think the same. When you say you've only been doing this a year, I think that's actually kind of super impressive. So I do see Mike in the live chat was like, "Are we asking questions as well?" Mike, if you've got any questions, please feel free to throw them into the chat, and I'll put them up here. And I'm sure Jared would love to answer them. And Savannah's here. Hi, Savannah. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, bestie.
Thanks for supporting Jared. I'm assuming Savannah's close one of yours.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing the support. So this figure right here. Tell me about which figure is this?
It's the SH Figuarts, so Darth Vader.
Is this isn't the brand new one, is it?
No, I have the brand new one, and that's the one I used in my most recent photo.
This is it.
No, yes. That's the brand new one.
So I also have really been quite enjoying this figure. So
I watched your video yesterday.
It's so impressive.
It's really fun. I can't wait to use it more.
I bought this figure like right when the pre-orders started being shipped. I was like, "Oh, I didn't pre-order this. Let me check." And it was it was in stock on AmiAmi, and I managed to get him just buying him in stock. And man, I'm so glad I did. This is like a super impressive figure, and I've held it in the box until last week when I filmed the video.
I think I like the cape and everything more than the first SH Figuarts. It's like that bottom cape. I don't really know what to call that. Is it like plastic on the first one?
It's the butt flap. That's what I call it. The butt flap. Yeah, the fact that there's a wired. It's got like there's wire all around the outside of it, and on the inside there's like 3 going. And plus the other one's wired. If you have a chance to pick up this figure, if you're watching this right now, oh my gosh, it's so worth it. It's incredible. It's such a good figure.
Really I have too many ideas in my head. I had to go with just one.
Too many. Yes, Julia, I agree. Cool. So what are you going to do with your now obsolete Vader Figuarts?
Just hang on to it. I could possibly use him for something, but right now he's just going to be right there for at least the time being.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with because there's been plenty of figures that I've like upgraded, but I still kept the old one because I got to remember, I don't know, I still am attached to them. I don't want them to feel bad, like I'm
attached to all of them now.
Yes. Absolutely. So this is a great question from MK500. Both Jareds, what's your least favorite figure you got in 2023? Do you have a least favorite? I don't even
know if I have a least favorite, to be honest. I love.
Yeah, I buy so little now, MK, that I get specifically like the ones that I know I really want, and I haven't really gotten one that I've been any disappointed in.
I don't think I've been disappointed about any of the ones I've gotten. Like, I haven't shot with all of them yet, but like I'm not disappointed in them.
Yeah, figure's a figure, so that's good. I hope you. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have my favorites, but no least favorites. The old butt flap. I agree. Okay, so tell me some more about. Let's go over some photos here. Whoa, actually, going back to this one, that's pretty cool. Canon USA.
That is the second time they've done it, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's so cool. I have seen some comments. Like, I have seen them commenting on things that, like, they must have like stepped up and hired somebody to like comment and look at our photos. But that's so cool. Like, that feels so good when that happens. Like, congrats.
It's like, wow, the people who created the camera that I use is just like they're actually like posting more, or at least commenting.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, and they obviously don't do that on every photo that's they're tagged in. So the fact that they saw yours and decided to comment it, that's That's great.
It's just like it shocked me. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Ender's Shadow. What figure? What surprised you? How good it was? Honestly, this one might have been it. Like I knew this figure was gonna be great, but I was not expecting it to be this huge, and it probably would have gone on my top 5 list if I had opened it before 2023 ended. What about you?
This one definitely was surprising to me. I wasn't expecting to like love the figure more than I do.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So this is cool. So you got him on like a nice little mound going on here. Is this like your backyard or is
this is a regional park only 5 minutes away from my house.
Okay, and where do you live? Where are you from?
I'm in California.
Oh, nice. Okay, is it like northern-ish?
Kind of like the more like middle, like closer to San Francisco.
Okay.
Like a 2-hour drive from San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Cool. I have been to San Francisco before. I've been there twice. It's the only part of California I've ever been to. Cool. So what's the temperature like over there? Probably hoodies at least, right? Not too cold.
Cold for us, definitely, because
Right.
we're not used to snow and everything, but definitely cold for us at like 40s and 30s at night, and then right now it's like 57.
That's still pretty chilly. So can't knock you for that at all. Today was one of the coldest days so far. It's been a very mild winter, but today was like definitely below freezing and very windy.
I don't know how I do. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you ever experienced that type of cold before?
I've been in negative degree weather before, but it wasn't for very long.
Just for like a couple minutes or a second or something.
I'd say the longest was probably like 20 minutes.
Oh, that's a long time. I don't spend that much time outside. Going from the car going from the car to the store or something, that's usually the most of it. But today I did actually go out and take a toy photo in the cold, which I'm excited about. But yeah, it was cold. It was really cold. So good. I'm glad you've got the warm-ish weather so you can still take photos outside.
Warm definitely for you, cold for me.
Warmish. Yes, doable. You can still go outside.
Yeah.
Loving the settings and stuff at the end. Very, very nice. Figures used, very helpful. It's very, very helpful.
Yeah, just in case someone wants to know what figure it is, like they might want it.
Definitely, yeah. And these are usually the most common questions that might pop up on a comment or something. So that's really great.
It was one of my Demon Slayer, or sorry, not Demon Slayer, Goblin Slayer photos. Someone asked me what figure that was.
Okay, yeah. This one?
That one, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I've never watched this show, but I have wanted to simply for the character design. Like I think this is a really cool thing. I don't know.
It's honestly one of my favorite figures. I love him.
Which is this a Figma? Actually, well, we can swipe. This is a Mac. Okay, this is a Figma one.
Yeah.
Nice. One of your favorite figures is a Figma. I feel like Figma. There's a lot of really great Figma figures, but I feel like they fall short. I think from a lot of like Mafex or Figuarts.
I will say, if you can't see it, thank God, but the hands are so like tight and everything. I broke the handle of the sword twice trying to put it in his hand. I had to super glue it back together for this shot.
Oh my God. So like, wow. That's frustrating when you
It's just because I love the design of the figure is why it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and you know what? Figma does a lot of characters that nobody else does too, which that's one of their great plus. Like I love my Doomslayer Figma. There's no other really figure in that scale. Doomslayer, Demon Slayer, Goblin Slayer. We're just talking about all of the different Slayers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love Demon Slayer too, so
yeah. Does Figma do? No, several brands do a lot of them. I know Figuarts does.
I know Figma does because I have
Well, there you go. Ren Goku.
Yep, my favorite character.
He's just like I've only just recently really caught up on and watching that show, and I've never had like my jaw wide open and my eyes wide open, just totally enthralled with the screen while watching an anime before during that like big scene with him and whatever the tattooed guy. It's just like
Akaza, I think is his.
Yeah, and like my blood was boiling, and I was just like ready to cry. Like, oh,
it was a very intense,
and just beautiful, and just like I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it, but oh my goodness. Hey, Red Dragon Studios, hello to you. Thanks for coming in. Okay, so tell me about this shot. So yeah, obviously you've got this figure you love. And what I really love about it is the depth of field and having the out of focus grass in the front. That's really cool. I love that. So yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I wanted to do kind of a little bit more kind of darker, kind of more moodier shot, hence why it's it was perfect it being overcast that day. And it stopped raining probably 15 minutes before I went out to go take this. But I kind of just pictured that walking through the tall grass, or in this standing in the tall grass.
It's very anime. It's very much an anime thing with the tall grass like that for sure. And I definitely that's something I really love to do. Just like just to step up your photo a little bit is to have out of focus foreground stuff like that. And one thing with figures it works great is that with grass it's very tall for them, so it's a really great way to just add some extra cool stuff in your photo. So cool, nice. All right, we got a ton more stuff to go over here. This is a great one.
I love the lighting of this photo.
Me too.
The lighting just it worked out for me in this photo.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so that was just the end of the day, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it was I think around 5:30-ish when I took this photo.
Yeah, awesome. And you got some atmosphere aerosol, so that's cool.
Yeah, where I learned that one.
Awesome. And you've got a nice white poster board.
I do have a reflector, but I forgot it at home that day, so I had to use what I had to kind of reflect some light.
That probably worked. I mean, clearly it did, because the photo looks fantastic. But yeah, with such bright light, just a white thing poster board is probably really good too, because it probably reflects a nice softer diffused light back at the.
It could definitely be more diffused, but I have to get it really close to actually reflect that light, and sometimes it could just end up in the photo.
Definitely. Oh yeah. Yep.
It's definitely softer though, for sure.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure there are some times where that's probably better to use that than the actual reflector. Hey, Silver. Cool. And so a lot of great editing going on here too. Awesome. This is great. It's super helpful. I love your is this toy photo based and you edited your logo?
Well, what it was is I'm still learning all photo editing and everything as I grow and everything. This is actually just a stormtrooper I have on my shelf behind me, and then an AI just completely made it more galaxy, because that's what I really wanted was more galaxy, the stars and everything. But I'm there's no way I could do that on my own.
I mean, it's cool and it does the job. I mean, there's no I don't think there's any harm in
I could have possibly gotten someone to do it for me, but I'm a very shy person and don't like bothering people.
Well, you're definitely not going to be bothering anybody, and you're doing great already so far. You're doing great. So speaking of editing, there's a lot of really great editing going on here. And so one of which is I'm really impressed that this stormtrooper over here is actually being held up by a full like figure stand, and that's totally flawlessly edited out in the picture. So how did you get rid of that so nicely?
That is some of the clone stamp, some of the AI, the AI tool they put in Photoshop.
The remove tool?
Yeah. And then
like,
some of removing that entire figure and the stand and then taking another photo and then kind of.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a mixture of like all three because like not one really works all together in some cases.
Yeah, you're right.
I had an interesting time editing that whole thing out.
You did a great job. You really did. And that's interesting because today when I was editing a photo, I used a couple different things to remove. It wasn't just one. So and I really like the action that's happening. So like Vader has already sliced, like he's like, because getting that like post slice pose where he's already extended the arm past already. Like that's something you got to really think about and then have ready to go for when you go and edit. And what you did to get that slash through the middle of the trooper looks really good. Looks really, really good. I wanted to ask you about that, like what you did for that.
It's honestly kind of the same thing of making a lightsaber in Photoshop. It's just using a different color and like a different kind of Gaussian blur in it.
Cool.
And a little bit of tweaking to make it kind of look like curved throughout the body.
Oh, okay. All right. So it wasn't necessarily just like a straight line.
No, I kind of tweaked it a little bit downwards and that.
Cool. It looks really good. It looks great. And I wouldn't have thought of that. And I would have been like, how would I do this?
I can't remember what photographer it was, but it was in a photo of, I think, Obi-Wan slashing stormtroopers, and I saw that effect. I was like, oh, I really want to do that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that's how we do it. We all just kind of inspire each other, This shot's really quite beautiful. And the lighting, you did a great job. The cape, the pose, and the lightsaber effect is really good. Really, really good. So yeah, tell me about this shot.
The background is just a different background. I wasn't a fan of the background of this photo, so I just completely changed it over to something else.
Wow. Okay. I can't wait to hear how you did that.
It was kind of just cutting out the bottom of or halfway up the photo and then making sure I cut around Kylo Ren, and then I just replaced him.
Would you replace? Did you grab a picture as a background, or did you use the generative fill? Or
the generative fill definitely helped me with this one.
Nice. Cool. That's so cool.
I just did not like the background. I was like, I like the pose, I just don't like the background.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never would have known. It looks completely flawless. Because I as you were explaining it and I swiped, I was like, oh, that looks different.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so okay. So you basically grabbed the whole background, you selected it, from ground up, and then you use the generative fill. And so what did you did you just search for something? What did you type in? I'm honestly just curious.
I typed in a mountainous background or hills, and then that was just one of the things it gave me. I was like, this one looks a lot better than the rest.
Incredible.
Because it's not perfect.
I honestly don't see anywhere where it's not.
No, the generative generative AI is sometimes not perfect.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm talking about your photo. Your photo looks absolutely perfect. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes it doesn't do everything exactly the way you want it. I agree. Based Irish. I'm sure you've got the talent somewhere. I mean, I agree.
Sure everyone has talent.
Yes, you've got it somewhere. You just got to figure out what it is that because just whatever you love, you'll end up being really good at, as long as you love it. Anya Roman says, hi everyone, just joining now. Super cool shot with their previous photo. Love the movement in the photo, and the angle makes you feel you feel the movement more. So Well done. Loving the red lighting. Nice. Well, thanks, Anya Roman. Appreciate that.
I appreciate it. It always makes me so happy when other people like the photos.
Yes, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. That's why you got people commenting and liking it in general. So, I mean, there's not really much not to love. It's a great photo. I do have 2 more questions about this one. So that's a custom cape?
No, that's just the cape it comes with.
What figure is this?
It's the SH Figuarts Kylo Ren.
Oh, that's why. So this is the Rise of Skywalker one, right?
Yes, yeah.
Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Because I'm just trying to look. I see like the slashes on the mask, and it comes with this cape.
Yeah.
Nice. It's got wires and stuff.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
Now, I'm not like the biggest fan of Kylo Ren, but I do love this figure.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks really great. I think Kylo's probably my favorite character from sequels, and somebody I really like to photograph. He's just great design. You know, he's just a cool Star Wars character. You know. Okay, my next question is the Kylo lightsaber effect, because this looks really good.
I was hoping no one asked that question because I forgot how I did it.
Really?
I did this a month ago, and I haven't had to practice doing that like broken kyber crystal lightsaber since then. So it's like I learned how to do it specifically for this photo because I didn't just want it to look like an everyday normal lightsaber. I wanted it to look close to his. So I learned how to do it, but I've forgotten since then. Because when you don't practice it, you kind of just forget how to do it over time. And I'm like a goldfish.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It looks really good, and there's been plenty of times I've done the same thing where I've done something and I'm like, oh, I need to do this again, but I haven't done it in years, and it's I totally get it.
I have a mind of a goldfish. Sometimes it only takes a month or 2 for me to forget something.
Damn. Well, I am legitimately really curious on how you did it because it looks really good. But the way I usually do them is like instead of just drawing a straight line, I just like draw a bunch of squiggly lines. That's all for mine. And
I really wish I could remember how to do it.
Well, next time you do it, you'll have to start from scratch, and who knows, maybe you'll make it look even better, and then you don't have to remember because you.
And then I'll let you know how I did it.
Sounds good. All right, hang on, I gotta turn this a little bit. Oh wait. Okay. Okay, there's so many great ones. Okay, here we go. This is a great one to talk about. This is awesome. So this is like Rebels, you know, kind of. It's like a little kind of a mixture of Rebels.
It's a mixture. It's mainly because I don't have an older Obi-Wan figure, and I had to use what I have.
Well, the lighting's super cool. The way you have everything, like everything's totally like 100% illuminated by the lightsabers. And
this one was hard to do.
Yeah, tell me about this. Like, this is really cool.
So it was actually done in this room with like pretty much no light on in here.
Wow,
like,
really?
A black like board on the bottom because that's fake dirt I had to get for the photo, and then a black board to like kind of just get it like a Dark Knight.
Oh, well, here
I tried to get it as close to that as I could.
I mean, it's pretty spot on. It's kind of cool. It's like it reminds me of both the Vader versus Obi-Wan scene in the Kenobi series, and then also obviously this scene from Rebels, which is really cool. Like it's just like a cool kind of combination. And I know you said wasn't your goal. You wanted it more like this, and so you kind of just used whatever Obi-Wan you had. But I love that about it.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool.
I was so picky about this one. I wasn't gonna post. I I tried so hard to get this one to look good because someone asked me to do this one.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, I'm sure they're very satisfied. And
I
yes,
think he said something in the comments of this post, I think.
MK did?
No, the guy who requested the photo. I can't remember.
Oh.
I can't remember who it was. It's been a...
I want to see Jar Jar as a Sith Lord.
It looks like
Here
it's
you go.
that final one, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, cool. You're getting
he
requests.
requested the photo, so
Oh,
I was like,
what
I'll get it to you.
What happened to my camera? Hang on a sec. You can still hear me though, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? Hang on. Something happened. Everything was going great for a while. Okay, now let's give it a shot. Hey, there we go. Yeah, that didn't. There we go. We're good. And yes, I do want to make sure I say hi to my mom in the chat. Hi, Mom. Thanks for.
Hi, Jared's mom.
Thanks for watching. Well, yeah, this shot is really cool. You honestly, you killed it with this one. It came out great.
It was my first intro or second intro to indoor photography.
Nice, because that's hard to make that switch if you're totally used to shooting outside.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was. I think the Michael Myers was the first one I ever did that was indoors.
This one right here?
Yeah, it's in my living room.
It's tough when all of the lighting is totally up to you. You know, like when you're so used to shooting outside, you're used to like taking the light that's already out there and kind of making it work and then adding more to it or something. But when you're 100% in charge of everything, it's really hard to get used to that. And
like you have to think about a lot more.
You do. It's great to be in control, but yeah, it's tough sometimes to be in control that much, you know. But this shot came out great. Primal Production also agrees.
It looked like it came out perfect for me. I was like, I couldn't be in more love with this photo.
Cool. Nice.
Because I'm not the biggest like horror fan or slasher fan, but like I have watched all of the Michael Myers movies or the Halloween movies.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not a big horror person either, but I am starting to enjoy it more as I get older. But horror characters are really fun to shoot. Like I like using them in photos. It's just really fun. Like there's a lot of possibilities, and I love doing like funny photos with them because it makes it more like ironic. I don't know.
Oh yeah, so, I've thought about a couple funny photos, but I just haven't gone and done them yet. I just wanted to get kind of like a super serious, like kind of like looks like it came straight out of the movie.
Definitely
type photo.
Of course. Hey D-Flower. Okay, I really want to talk about this mall shot. Like this is so cool. This is so clean. Like this is a great figure for sure. And the face is great, but like the way you shot this looks like a poster that I would have on my wall.
This is my sister's favorite photo.
This might be my favorite one of yours. This is really good. Like everything about this is so incredibly clean. So yeah, tell me about this shot.
This one that's off of eBay, that Sith Holocron, or I don't even remember where I got it from, but it's a custom made one. But
Cool.
It's actually a lot bigger than that. So what it is I like kind of sized it down to look more
Really?
To scale to him. Like you look at it, it's kind of like a little bigger.
Yeah, you brought it down a little bit. Wow. Yeah, nice.
And then the background was completely white, like the sky part of it. but that's the, what is it? Replace sky.
The sky replacement tool.
Yeah,
That's a great tool.
I'm still learning how to use it and kind of get it to match, but that was my first attempt with it.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely takes like the sky replacement tool in Photoshop. What if anyone isn't familiar, it's hard to get it to make it work and fit, because sometimes you'll use it and it'll be like you'll have your entire background is all out of focus, but your sky is like crystal and it doesn't fit always. So you did a great job with it in this photo. Really great job. Uh-oh. I'm losing you again. I was saying, wow, look at me. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to mess around with this because this is my first time using this new camera setup. Elgato, you're failing me right now. But continue talking about the lighting, the posing on this amazing photo.
So it's that the rim lighting that I learned from you.
Awesome.
Can I get that back like shot? But I wanted the front to also be kind of, you know, like lit up and everything, but like for the red glow and everything, it's just me holding up a Lume Cube of like the red color and then editing it in later.
Yeah, because here we go. But yeah, I can see like you've got lighting coming from like the back kind of him and a little bit on the front too, and man, it all works out so well. It's such a great photo.
I do love this photo and I love the character.
Yes, this is a perfect mall shot. And man, his face, like the way everything's lit on his face and his eyes. I don't know. Did you do any editing on his eyes or anything? Because they look so good.
Yes, I did. I wanted to give him that Sith, like that yellow, like orange set of eyes. He's one of the most angriest characters you see in Star Wars. So I was like, you know, like he might be having a straight face, but he's still mad as ever.
Yeah, he's definitely. And man, this is I'm really like, I remember seeing this photo, but I don't remember. It's just now hitting me like how freaking good this shot is. And D Flower, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that very much. And thank you to Lab 90. Thanks, guys. You guys are amazing. And like I said before, if anybody's got any questions for Jared, throw them in the chat. Throw them on in. This one's so cool. I love this shot. I love the perspective that I don't know, like the perspective of like you're not totally from behind of Iron Man, but a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like it's really cool, and he's so shiny, and yeah, like tell me about this shot.
Such a really shiny figure. It's definitely like the shiniest figure I have.
Oh, I see. This was based off.
I do a little series, you know, like who would win in a fight. Like I try to match it to where it could be even, but it also comes down to personal preference.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. There's always going to be some opinion-based answers on questions like these. This is okay. They're both Figuarts ones. Nice. I can tell you're a fan of Figuarts in general. So
yeah,
a lot of that. That's. I mean, me too. So that's awesome. So this is a great time to throw this. What camera are you using for all these shots? These beautiful photos.
I use a Canon R50, a mirrorless camera.
Ooh, okay.
I love, like, the R50 is smaller than all of the rest of the cameras, which I love because when you're out taking photos, it's just super nice to have not like a bulky camera.
Yeah.
So like, it makes it perfect when you're like working with toys, or like if you're just like on the go and taking pictures of just random things. Having a small like camera you could go with is really nice.
Awesome. Cool. And I mean, it's doing the job quite well. And what lens are you using?
The Nifty 50. It's
Nice.
It's definitely my favorite lens just because of the low at aperture that it has.
Yeah.
I love being able to get that so like blurry background and blurry foreground.
Yeah, that f1.8 is incredibly helpful, super helpful. Shroomy says, do you normally just use Photoshop to edit, or do you use like a variety of different apps or anything like that?
I only use Photoshop. I've thought about also using like Lightroom to fix more with the colors, but so far I've just done Photoshop.
Photoshop's the way to go. Sorry, I'm fixing my camera.
It's what I'm comfortable with, to be honest.
Well, first of all, it's hard to get comfortable, first of all, with Photoshop because it's a lot at first. It really is. And hey, here we go. Sorry. Oh, come on. Sorry, everybody. This is probably super annoying. I got to figure out why this is happening. But I also am the same way. Everything is 100% Photoshop. You can just about everything you need to do. You can somehow figure out a way to get it done in Photoshop.
Yeah, it's just the camera raw filter is my favorite thing on Photoshop.
Yeah, there's just like every possible little slider bar that you need to adjust something is all there. So incredibly helpful. Cool. So yeah, Photoshop's the way to go. It's expensive, but it really is like the way to go for sure.
For majority of the time I've been doing photography, I had at the same time I was in a photography class at my college, so I had access to free Photoshop for that time. So there's a good couple months where I didn't have to pay for it at all.
That's amazing. And I mean, you might still be able to get away with trying to use like the student. How long have you been out of school for?
I'm just during my winter break right now. I go back next week.
Well then, okay, so you're still in school. So there is I think a student discount you can get.
Yeah, I have. I think I do have the student discount. At least I think I do.
Good.
Even if I didn't, I was probably going to pay for it. I love Photoshop. I used it during school, so I kind of just fell in love with it.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. I also learned in high school, I took a Photoshop class as like an art class, and I'm so glad I did because I learned so much from that. Cool. Silver Moon's using Photoshop too. There's a lot to do with it. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Take some time to learn for sure.
It definitely takes some time.
Definitely takes some
Luckily, I had a teacher walk me through it.
Yes. Just same here. But just take your time. Every time you use it, you'll learn something new about it. Just keep doing the things you know how to do, and then every so often just click on something and click, what's this do? And then the more you do that, you'll just kind of
tinker with it.
Yeah, exactly.
See what works.
Red Dragon says, what school do you go to?
I'm in a college. I go to Los Medanos College here in California.
Los Medanos. Is it what kind of? I've never heard of it. What kind of school is that?
It's a community college, and then I'm gonna transfer to a school after this year, actually.
What's your major?
Right now, it's computer science.
Nice. I mean, an incredibly what's the word? Relevant. I don't know, much needed field to be in. So that's really great.
It helps that I'm on my computer every day, so might as well learn more about it and learn how to code and learn how to program anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Cool. Well, you're killing it. And I'm sure it'll be incredibly handy and helpful to have that. Okay, well, if you're not already following, I should have said this a million times already. Oh, there goes my camera. But if you're not already following Mind Trick, please make sure Instagram is right here. He's got 1,500 followers, which is actually, you're doing great for only having this for a year.
Yeah,
Like, that's honestly huge, and so amazing job. So if you're not following him already, you definitely should be right away. So yeah, I got his Instagram linked right here in the description. Sorry, this is probably super annoying for everybody. But yeah, I've got his Instagram link right here in the description of the video. So all you got to do is just go there. But as this is turning on, I've got a bunch of great questions that were sent over from some lovely people on Instagram. So let me pull that up and then we can answer some questions. So first one is from Beyond Photography. It says, when did you get started? Like, when did you start photography? I know we kind of just kind of mentioned this, but
I mean, when I had actual photography Instagram account is almost a full year from right now. But when I started taking photos was probably when I was around 9 or 10.
Okay, wow, nice. So cool. So only took you up until a year ago to start toy photography. The best.
Yes, very shy, very much like scared to get out in the world in a little bit, but I'm coming out of my comfort zone.
Good. I mean, you came on here.
Yeah, I was terrified before this started.
You're doing an amazing job. You're doing an amazing job. And was I right when I said the nerves kind of go away a little bit after 10 minutes or so?
Yeah.
A little bit. If they're still there, that's okay. But you're doing amazing.
Just a tad.
Yes, you're doing amazing. Well, Beyond Photography, thank you for sending that one in. Question. So we have Low Kilos Hidden Gems. What's the best advice you can give to a toy photography beginner?
Don't go super overboard isn't the right answer, but like do one figure in a photo. You know, like sometimes the most basic could be your best, like the walking shots, like that Kylo Ren photo from earlier. It was just one figure and you could do whatever pose you want to do with it. But
That's
like
really
one
great
figure,
advice.
just like if there's too many like parts you have to think of, sometimes that could be super overwhelming. Like even even just for me, like I don't know if I'm considered a beginner anymore, but like even to this day I get like sometimes I just need to do one figure in a photo.
Yeah, same. Me too. The more figures you've got going on, the harder the figure gets, or the photo gets for sure. That's really cool. Like I love that advice. It's definitely not something that I usually hear as like the answer to that. So I think that's really cool.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. I like that. That's really good advice. Low Kilos Hidden Gems. Thanks for sending that in. Yeah, that's a really great advice. I would say also too, like just keep shooting. The more you shoot, the more you learn things. And don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone a little bit with a photo that like you haven't really done something similar to that before. You know, just go out a little bit, but just keep doing it. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get, for sure. All right. Thanks for sending in that question. Next is from Savannah. It says, how do you come up with the concepts for your pictures? They are really great, by the way.
I have another chair right there. I sit in that chair and I kind of tinker with them, saying, what kind of photo do I want to do? Like
Great.
I've like even got them to stand up in the pose I like the idea I wanted, and like lean down to see if it would probably look good in the camera without actually having to pull the camera out.
Yes. Yeah, because sometimes you'll pose something and then it looks totally different in like the angle and all the stuff you use in camera than like when you're actually looking at it. I totally get that.
Yeah, I just tinker with them right there.
So the idea just comes from nothing, where you're just kind of like just start tinkering and posing, and then the idea and the concept for the photo comes out of
It
that.
depends on like the moment, because sometimes like when you're scrolling through Instagram, there's like an idea that pops into your head because of another photographer, and then I'm like, oh, that's a really cool idea.
Okay, totally.
And then there's sometimes where I'm just tinkering with the figure, and then I'm like, oh, this pose could look really good, and then I go. So it's like it's a little bit of like inspiration from other people, and then also just like sometimes my own.
Little spin.
Yeah,
Your own spin on it.
my own little spin on something.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think we can all say we get at least a little bit of inspiration from seeing other toy photographers. I mean, I know I do all the time, and even today, I still like. I remember constantly just getting inspiration from others. All the like when I was just starting out, but even today, every day, I'm seeing. Like today, there's a post by Mitchell Wu. Do you know who Mitchell Wu photography is?
I
mean,
don't
if
know
you're,
if I.
he's one of the guys that's been around doing it for a very long time. He's a full-time toy photographer as his career. He's very inspiring. He's a great guy, and I see his stuff all the time, and I'm always getting inspired. And so there's like one post of his that he did today that was really cool, and just like a ton of his photos, and I got super inspired by it. So yeah. Savannah, thanks for sending in the question. Really great question. I agree, they are really great questions. They're really great photos. Sorry. Next is from Lord Red. How's it going, man? Says, one question that I always like to hear people answer: what inspires you to make the photo? I mean, I guess we did kind of just talk about that. But other toy photographers, how you pose in it, and I'm sure just from listening to you today, it sounds like a little bit of your own growth as you learn and as you try new things. That inspires you to keep doing more of that thing, so you can get better at it and stuff like it. I can tell. It seems like a lot of that from you.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely try to perfect like certain things.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a perfectionist when it comes to things like that I like, for in this case, photography.
Yeah, your own personal growth, and that's a huge inspiration to keep doing and shooting things. I think that's something great for us all to kind of mention and recognize in general. Yeah, cool. Lord Red, thank you for the question. And also D-Flower Creations, I appreciate all the love you're throwing in the chat. And yes, almost getting there. Appreciate it, dude. All right, next question's from the Celtic collector. I guess Celtic is the right way to say that, right? Any advice for a toy photographer who had gotten into a funk with their abilities? I see. So like you're feeling like in a slump, or lack of motivation, or lack of whatever. So yeah, what do you think about that?
I think the best thing to do is not force yourself to go take more photos.
Yes, that's really good.
If you force yourself, you could like tire yourself out even more. Just because you're forcing, like, it's not something you force, it's something you want to go do.
I that's exactly what I was gonna say. Honestly, same here. If you find yourself that you are in a funk or a slump or something, like the more you kind of try to force yourself, like you just said, to go out and do it because of that funk, I think you're just gonna make the funk worse. I think you gotta, if you're in a funk, sit back, do something else that you love. Celtic collector, do something else, whether it be just like, I don't know, watch a movie, play a video game, or any of those things. Do that for a while, and let the motivation come back naturally, because it will. Because if you love toy photography, that motivation will come back naturally. And then once it comes back, you go for it, and then your funk is gone. It'll just happen. But if you do try to force it,
it'll just come back naturally.
That Comic Dad, honestly, and I can tell. And here goes my camera again, playing peekaboo. But yeah, I try to shoot one picture a day. That's impressive. And you are always constantly putting out good stuff. But yeah, I'm sure like that's a great way to like challenge yourself as well as just like I don't know if that motivation is there and that's what you want to do and that's your kind of zen going out and shooting picture a day. That's amazing. That's actually like really amazing.
A picture a day is really impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, right? That's crazy. Brian says he's always forcing himself to come up with something, and my photos come out bad when I do that. Oh, well, there you go. Brian, I know the reason why you would be trying to force yourself for sure. But yeah, don't bother forcing yourself. It's all right. Just let it come out. And I'm sure they don't come out bad, Brian. I'm sure they come out great. But I get it. I get it for sure. And so with my camera, I think I'm figuring out what the heck is wrong with this stinking thing. So like I'm using my actual Sony, like my camera that I use for everything as my webcam right now. I have this new thing and I think it's overheating. I think it's getting too hot for being on this long because it's not really made to be going on for the I don't know. I have to figure out what the problem is. But it's all right. It's all working out great. Luckily, every time my camera goes out, Jared's here. He's running the show.
Yeah,
my camera's gone.
About that one.
No, you definitely are. Yeah, this is great. Stubb says, I always try to take at least one day of no photos a week to avoid burnout. That's great. That's great. It's okay to love and do other things. It's okay to do other
Big gamer. If I don't game sometimes, then
yeah,
you gotta distract yourself with other things that make you happy.
You do. You have to. You have to. And hey, if there's somebody watching this that's like, you know what? I take photos every day and I don't get burned out at all. And that's totally
I want that
amazing.
superpower.
Exactly. They like that. And if that's the case, then that's totally okay. And that's actually quite incredible.
That's very impressive.
But if you're not feeling that way and you do sometimes get that funk, then yeah, there's way out of it. Happens with everybody. Happens for me for sure. There have been times where I've been so incredibly burned out from all the stuff that I do. And I've gotten like super frustrated and really struggled. But a good way to find is to find a consistency that works for you. Because if you try to do it too often, then it's tough. So finding that like consistency, like once a week actually ends up being really great for me. Even though I'd like to do it more, once a week has become quite good. Okay, Celtic Collector, that was a great question. Thanks for sending that one. Toy Guzzler says, favorite with a OU, the British way, favorite TV show.
There's so many shows I could pick.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oof, that's a rough one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with a childhood favorite is Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Oh yeah,
I love that show. I could watch that every week.
So, how old were you when you were watching it, like for the first time?
Oh, I believe I was 8 when it first. I don't even remember when. I just remember watching it when I was younger, just just mesmerized by it because obviously I grew up Star Wars.
Yeah.
So.
It's interesting. I was my first introduction to the Clone Wars was within its first couple of seasons, and I was 17, and I used to babysit these group of triplets. It was Johnny, Sally, and Charlotte, and Johnny they were like, I don't know, 8, 9 or something, and he was super into the Clone Wars, and I was like, whoa, there's like a Star Wars, because I was like peak of my I'm 17, I'm totally only about being cool with my friends, I don't care about it, and that's all that matters to me. And so I wasn't aware of all of the other media happening, and I was like, whoa, there's a Star Wars like animated show called the Clone Wars.
And
This is
some
awesome.
people try to say that show is for kids. I mean, there's some scenes in there that are not for kids. You know,
There's
like
some, yeah. You're
when Asajj
absolutely right.
Ventress uses the Force to pull that ARC Trooper into his her lightsaber and then kisses him.
Yeah.
I don't think that's meant for kids to see.
Yeah, there's some very, very dark things that happen in that show. I mean, not necessarily saying that was a dark one, but yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. But yeah, great choice. Honestly, for me, my favorite TV show has got to be Mando.
That is a really good one.
I mean,
really
like,
enjoyed.
There's a ton of great answers I could have, but Mandalorian is just like my favorite thing, like at all right now. Like I love him, love the character, the show. It's just like everything.
I love the character, but like I have to go to my roots with that one. My roots is Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Gotta go to the roots, you know. Yeah, totally, man. Cool, great question, great answers. Thanks, Toy Guzzler. Next is from Davison Clavijo. Favorite place for toy photography? Is it that one park that seems like you shoot there a lot?
That's actually a newer place for me to go.
All right.
But it's definitely my favorite now. It's definitely.
And you said that was a state park, was it?
Regional park.
Regional park.
At least I think that's what they're called. There's a couple around me.
Okay. Cool. Well, hey, if it's got what you got to do, if it's got what you need, then perfect. Is there any like water or anything there? Is it just like nice
yeah,
field?
they have water there, which I plan on trying to do something with maybe in the future.
Yeah, I mean, water is just like, even if you're not doing something action, whatever, packed with splashing water, it's just like, water is beautiful. It's like water reacts with light so nicely with reflections, and just like, it's fun to, shooting with water around is always really cool. So, cool. Davison, great question. I don't know my favorite spot. The one that I'd like to go, I find myself going to the most, is I have this like sandy area by.
That's one place I haven't been able to find. I've been looking for kind of a place.
Even in California?
Nowhere near me.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something somewhere.
There has to be something somewhere. I just haven't found it yet.
If I can find myself a sandy hill area in upstate New York, then I'm sure you'll be able to find something.
I should be able to, which is why I'm surprised why I haven't found one yet.
Yeah, and I think what I like about it is it's just a big giant hill that's all sand, and so like the background is just like sky, and I get great strong lighting, and it's just a great spot. Really, really great spot. Cool. Yeah, Davison, great question. And I also really want to put up Alberto's question. What's a good starter camera that's budget friendly? I mean, it's unfortunately there's not a lot of great, but I guess it depends on your budget. But like if you're looking for a camera where you can, adjust your settings, change your lenses, you're gonna be looking at like 300 at the lowest for something.
Yeah, I would say about 300 to 400.
Yeah,
that's probably the.
Yeah, well,
I'm not a beach person, Mike. I do not like the beach.
Really? Oh man,
I don't like the beach at
okay,
all.
Now I want to know exactly what it is that makes you not like the beach.
It's being close to the ocean.
Interesting.
I am terrified of the ocean.
Interesting. I mean, it is quite vast.
Mainly because if you've seen Jaws, you know why.
All right, fair enough.
One of my deepest fears is being out in the middle of the ocean seeing nothing below you and then looking like straight forward and you just see a gray white swimming towards you.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want that to happen. I have never swam in the ocean that's not just right on the beach before. Never. I don't think I've ever really...
Swimming pools are fine. The
What about
ocean, I don't
lakes?
know.
What about swimming in a lake?
I mean, I guess that could be fine. I guess.
That's good. That's the transitional water body of water. So Stubbs, oh wow, I thought my camera came back for a sec. Stubbs said I posted a link in the Discord to help find good spots for photography, and you can search in your own area.
I'll look at that.
I'm gonna check that out too.
Useful. That'll be super useful.
It's actually really interesting. I'm curious about that because I feel like I know my area very well, but at the same time, there's probably so much more to know. So yeah, definitely gotta check that one out. But so back to the question about the camera. I always recommend the Canon Rebel series. Like if you search for Canon Rebel T6, T7, T5 or something, you'll find something within the lower price range. It's probably the most common, honestly, a DSLR camera you can buy. And if you find like something used or refurbished, you'll be able to get it for a lot less, a lot cheaper. So, yeah, it's really good.
They do, all the Jaws movies do try to make you feel that sharks act that way when they don't really act that way, but like it's just the thought that's terrifying.
It is, and also just the thought of not knowing like what's out there is pretty freaky. Yeah. And so there's a lot of questions about the Discord. So I do have a Discord. It's actually specifically it's under the membership that I have on my YouTube channel. So you have to join that to get access to the Discord channel. And if you're interested in joining, it's right underneath the video. There should be a little button that says join. All the perks and stuff are there. If you're interested, it's all right there. Ooh, kinetic sand. Yes. Oh, hey, Adrian. Thanks for coming in, man. Yeah, kinetic sand is awesome.
Sand.
Yeah, you can find that at like Walmart and stuff. It's just like moldable like sand that you can. It's pretty cool, and it's great for like even if you just want to have a nice, soft like ground that doesn't get messy and dirty and stuff. It's really cool. D-Flower, congrats on the 123 subs. That's pretty. I mean, it's not easy. YouTube's hard.
YouTube looks really hard.
YouTube's hard. It's definitely, I think, the most fun and the most rewarding, in my opinion, but definitely the most time-consuming and requires the most amount of work for sure. Cool, Davison, great question. So, Mana Warrior, I saw your question in here and I grabbed it because I still wanted to give you a shout. But I still don't really know what it is you meant. So it says, dirt that your troth to the camera. So I'm saying, does the dirt ever damage the camera? That's what I'm guessing. Like if dirt, like if you're ever kicking around dirt and debris and stuff, does that damage the camera? I think maybe that's what you were thinking.
I think that might be it.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. So far, I've never had any problems with dirt damaging my camera. But how about you?
I've never really had a problem with dirt. Like I've had dirt on my lens and everything, but I just like clean the lens off. I've never had a problem with dirt damaging. It could possibly, but like I've never had my camera damaged by that.
Yeah, and it really seems like when they build cameras, they build them to be functional, but also to be pretty durable. Like at least with my Sony it's made out of like some type of hard metal. It's like it's hard. And
I feel like it definitely depends on the camera. You know, like the more expensive you go, the better they try to make it. Where if it's dropped, it won't. Yeah, it won't break or anything.
The thing that I think has the biggest risk to damage your camera is probably water. Like, that's probably the biggest thing that I'm thinking.
It's another reason I've kind of stayed further away from water a little bit until I get more comfortable. and other things.
I will also say that it can take some splashes. My cameras have been through a lot, and I did break one camera by literally dropping it into water.
When you did the ads for the Aquaman movie, did your camera get hit with water during them?
Totally.
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. Right, yeah, there's one that I did with the Black Manta. That was the most risky one because of the environment that I was doing it in. But actually, that one there wasn't nothing, any splash damage at all. But pretty much every time if I'm dealing with splashes and stuff, it's going to get wet. But I usually keep a towel or a bandana with me, like in my bag, and I can just wipe it up as best I can. But you never know. You always got to be careful. But yeah, they're pretty durable. Pretty durable. So Mana Warrior, thanks for sending that question in. Next is from Action Photography himself, Mr. Ben. Says, when did you first start toy photography? I know we did talk about this a little bit already, but it's almost his 1 year anniversary. Are you gonna do anything special, Jared, for your 1 year coming up? You should.
I have thought about it. I just haven't I haven't decided on what I'm gonna do yet.
Okay.
I do know it's coming though. It is
coming.
Not that far away.
It's definitely coming. And well, what'd you say it was February 4th or something?
The 1st, or it could be. I could have gotten it wrong. No, the 1st. Yeah.
February 1st. Okay, I'm. Or what you could do. Sorry about my camera again, everybody. Luckily, my microphone is totally separate. Oh man, there's so many great stuff we didn't even have time for. But so this was the first one.
Yep.
February 2nd.
Oh, on mine it says the 1st. That's so weird.
Really?
Yeah, on mine it says the 1st.
That's weird. Well, I guess maybe did you post this at midnight or something, or 11 when it would have been still, because you're 3 hours ahead of, or no, I'm 3 hours ahead of you.
Did I? I could have. This was over a year ago, and I have the brain of a goldfish, so I could have, but I don't think I did.
Well, either way, was this actually the first toy photo you ever took, or was this just the one first one you ever posted?
It is not the first one I ever took. It was the first one I posted, though.
So there's some ones that date even further back to this one.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I have the photo on my computer.
That would be. You should take. I mean, you can do whatever the heck you want. I'm just throwing out ideas here. That would be cool if you redid either this shot or that other one that was your first one, and as your 1 year anniversary or something, maybe.
I've definitely thought about it. I just haven't decided completely what I'm gonna do.
Well, you can do.
There's a couple of things I have in my head, but I haven't decided.
Great. Well, at the same time, you can do as big or as small of a thing or nothing at all. It's your anniversary. You can do with it what you want.
At the least, there'll be something on my story. There's probably
There we go.
At the least, if there's not a post.
Cool. Yeah, something. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Man, it's crazy. We're already halfway through January. Man.
Yeah.
Hey, Steak. Thanks for coming in, dude. All right, D-Flower, I'm ready for your question, man. Send it on in. And while you're sending in that question, we have one from Trooper Effects, who has been here in the chat with us the whole time. Says, what camera do you use? I can't make it to the live tonight. Have fun all. You were literally here in the live. What are you talking about? But, right, we did talk about your camera and your lens and stuff. But yeah, mirrorless Canon, right?
Yeah. R50 mirrorless.
Cool. I'm very curious because my only mirrorless experience is with Sony stuff, not with Canon. So, but I do love me some Canon stuff too.
I love this camera. It hasn't. It's not done me dirty or anything. It hasn't fallen apart, and it takes great photos, and I love it.
Nice. Yeah. Does it have a screen that moves around that you can bend down and
Yes,
stuff?
that was something I desperately wanted in a camera. Was
Yeah,
having a screen where I like don't have to get all the way to the ground to see.
Yeah, that's huge. I could have really used that today because this camera does not have that, which makes me really want to invest. But man, because like I have the Sony Alpha 3, but there's a Sony Alpha 4 that exists, and it's got that screen that pops out. And man, I want that. Okay, D Flower says, "Where do you get your rare action figures? I can't really find the rare ones." Well, I guess it depends. If you mean the rare, like a lot of the Japanese ones, like we talked about a lot of like Figuarts and like Figma. If that's what you mean by the rare ones, you can actually find them pretty. I mean, sometimes they're tough after pre-ordering, but usually you have to pre-order them to to get stuff like that. If you have any specifics of Deflower, if I'm sure you could send me, or well, you can definitely send me one. I'm sure Jared also, Mind Trick, would love to send you any.
I
tip
agree
on where
with
to get
Adrian.
figures.
The Big Bad Toy Store. I know I've actually gotten a couple things from them.
Yeah, actually, Big Bad Toy Store has a lot of stuff on there.
They
Actually,
have a lot.
Yeah. So honestly,
They have a figure. They have a figure I want right now, but I
Oh, which
have
one?
to wait. It's the new Godzilla figure from the Godzilla -1 movie.
Is it the Super 7 one, or?
Yes, I love that movie, and I just want my hands on it. But
Dude,
I mean,
that
I'm
movie,
gonna have to wait a little bit.
that movie was absolutely incredible. I knew I was gonna go and I was gonna love that movie, but I was not thinking I was gonna love it as much as I did. Like every once in a while I'll get teary-eyed and cry a little bit in a movie, but like I think I cried more in this movie than I ever have in any movie.
That movie was very more emotional than I ever thought it was gonna be. It hit hard. I'll say that it very much hit hard.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, highly recommend. Highly recommend seeing that movie. Silver Moon, have a great night.
Have a
Thank
good
you, my
one.
friend. D Flower, I'm gonna move on to the next one, but I mean, this is an easy question for me. I'm gonna say Star Wars for sure.
I'm gonna say Star Wars too.
I'm not as big of a Marvel guy as most people are. I do love Marvel, and grew up. Actually, the first comics that really got me into that kind of thing were Marvel stuff. But Marvel's probably a little bit lower on my list as opposed for franchises that I love.
Marvel's a little bit higher for me than DC.
But Star Wars.
The Star Wars is definitely the number one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, same here. All right, Val Katis throws out a really great question. Says, "What is the most experimental or out of your comfort zone photo you've taken?" I like this one.
That Obi-Wan and Darth Vader photo that I did inside this room. That was 100% out of my comfort zone.
Yes, I'm pulling that up right now, and we did talk about that one, but so was it just the fact that it was an indoor photo that really got you?
Indoor and like super dark.
Super dark. Yes. Yeah. And I'm sure there's probably. Did you feel like any pressure at all? Because I know that you said somebody asked you specifically for this.
Well, I always want to deliver on what people like. If like someone asks me for a certain photo, I'm gonna go try and do it. And I was stressing myself out a little bit with this photo.
But look at you now. The photo's done. It has been posted and everything, and it's amazing.
I think there's no, never mind. I thought there was an editing mistake I didn't realize until right now, but I think we're good.
Oh, excuse me. What was it? What were you thinking?
The stars are completely edited in, and I thought there might have been closer to Darth Maul's head. That there was a gap between the stars, like there's just a jet black. But if you look close, there is stars there.
Very nice.
It's just hard to see. I was like, oh no, did I completely mess that up?
Man, what I really love is you have the red and blue light on them like from the lightsabers, but like you really did put the lighting from the red and the blue in the exact perfect spot in which where the lightsabers would be emitting light from. You know, like the light is coming from above on Obi-Wan, the lightsabers like over behind Maul. You know, like you did a great job with that for sure.
I liked how this photo came out. It's not my personal favorite, but I do like how it came out.
Yeah, you did really good with this one.
Yeah,
What-
I was using LimCube. Yep.
Nice. Did you use like the same one and then kind of edit them in different photos, or did you have
Yeah.
multiple?
Yeah,
Cool.
I just took multiple photos and then edited it.
Very impressive. Which Loom Cube were you using?
Is the
Panel
shoot.
Pro.
It wasn't the 2.0, it was the first one.
First one. Yeah.
At that time. I didn't get it the 2.0 until a little
Oh,
later.
nice. You got the 2.0 is really great.
Oh, I love that.
It's really good.
I love that. That's what in the Darth Vader photo that I just posted. That's what's creating that glow on the floor and on the
Okay. With this beautiful new beautiful new Vader. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I'm just now seeing the light on his eye. That looks great.
Yeah, that the evil Sith eyes.
The evil Sith eyes. Love that. Thanks, D-Flower. And D-Flower, send me a link sometime to a specific one. I would love to check it out. Would love to check it out. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, everybody. Everybody's been like really amazing in the chats today. Thank you guys. Really appreciate that.
The nicest community I've ever been a part of.
I honestly, we're so like lucky to be in such a warm and welcoming like community
It's like
of people.
Adrian was, besides like you, he was one of the other first ones to ever help me out.
Cool. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Puts out great work, and he's been in here in the chat today. So that's really great. Yes. Heck yeah, Adrian. All right. So let's see next. Valkatis. Corey, thanks for the question, man. Here we go. From Comic Dad. He's here in the chat. He says, if you could pick one figure to shoot and that's it, which one would you pick and why?
That's a rough one. I think I'm gonna have to go with the SH Figuarts Darth Maul because I love Darth Maul, and I don't really know a person who doesn't like Darth Maul.
Yeah, he's a pretty unanimously loved character for sure.
And it's between him and Darth Vader, but I think I have to go Darth Maul.
Cool. That Figuarts one, yeah, I've got him too, and he really is quite nice. I am excited for the new reissue because
I saw that. I'm excited, but I don't know if I could keep spending money on toys.
I know. Well, because the one I have, there's a problem with one of his feet. One of his feet is always falling off. It just his foot is off all the time and just does not stay on. And I've used him a lot for a very long time, and I'm excited for a new one. And there's also some great new, like he's got actual robe and hood and stuff. And this new one comes with the little droid thingies, the little.
Oh yeah, the little like I don't even remember what they're called, but the little like black drone.
Yeah, they're like little probe droids or something.
Droids that
Yeah.
stalk the people around.
Yes. Qui-Gon Jinn doesn't like Darth Maul. That's true.
That's true.
Speaking of Qui-Gon Jinn, there's also a new reissue of the Figuarts of him too, which I'm also quite excited for.
I know, Rebecca, you'd be happy if I picked Darth Maul.
Oh, okay. Hey, Rebecca, thanks for coming in and supporting your boy. And
she's the one who got me that figure.
Oh, nice. That's great. And here I go again, playing peekaboo. Great question, Comic Dad. Thanks for sending it in, as always, man. Here we go. He's laughing at me. That's all right. Ooh, Mandalorian Photography says, My Hero Academia or Dragon Ball Z?
I'm going to go Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a hard agree with that one. I do think My Hero Academia is actually an amazing show. But and there's a lot of stuff about My Hero Academia that's probably better than Dragon Ball, but um, Dragon Ball is just ingrained into my
Yeah.
blood since for so long.
Same for me. My older siblings. I grew up around Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. How many older siblings do you have?
I have 2 older siblings.
Older brothers or sisters or?
I got a older sister and then an older brother.
Nice. All right. Cool.
My
And-
older sister was just the one who posted about Darth Maul.
Oh, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rebecca. There she is. Yeah, my brother Tucker and I, my oldest brother, him and I were huge on Dragon Ball growing up too. That was like one of our things. So I definitely get the older sibling in Dragon Ball stuff for sure. And to be honest, I don't know if My Hero Academia would even exist or be the way it is without Dragon Ball Z. It's just
I don't know if a lot of animes would be the way they are without Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I agree. So that's really cool. Mandalorian photography, thanks for that. And he's got another one said is, what is your favorite shot you've ever taken? I know my favorite shot you've taken, but
my favorite one?
Yes, what is your favorite one? I'm gonna pull up your thing now so I can share it.
I think I'm gonna go with that Darth Vader shot of him slicing through that stormtrooper and then that sun.
Oh, this one.
I love that shot.
This is an awesome shot.
The lighting just does everything in this photo. Like the poses are good and everything, but the lighting I love in this photo.
Lighting is fantastic. Yeah, there's something about this end of the day lighting. Everything looks so much more dramatic. Like having the harsh shadows on the ground, and like even like the little shadows you get on each tiny little rock on the ground.
Yeah,
like, everything, and the way it like lights up the grass. Like that's the best.
It came out perfect, and I was so happy with it.
Cool. Yeah, you should be super proud of this shot because it's awesome. Cool. And I'm glad to hear, just showing some love. It's not just the lighting that's good too. It's the posing, the editing, the slice. That slice is awesome.
I'm still working on how to get better at it too.
Well, every shot you take, there's clearly, something new and better than the last one. Every shot you take, you're learning something, and it shows. For sure.
I try to get better at something with every photo, even if it looks similar to one I've done. I try to get better at something that maybe I didn't do good the first time.
That's great. Yeah, good. I'm excited to see where you'll be in your second anniversary. 2 years. We'll see. Just got a whole year to wait. All right, the last question is being screamed at us by MK500. What's your favorite figure in your collection? I know we talked about favorite of the year, what you like to shoot, but I guess favorite period in your whole collection.
My favorite figure.
The Maul.
Maul, I think, has to be the one. Because I can't pick Captain Rex, because that's my favorite clone trooper I have, but I really dislike the Black Series Captain Rex. And
really?
The kind of the orange or whatever, kind of like, I don't know how to describe that. I
like the weathering is kind of orange.
Well, if you look at that gold, orange, lines that they have, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
On that helmet, right above the visor, you see that kind of the gold, yellow or orange.
Yeah.
I just don't like that part.
Yeah, that is a good point. Is this the original Black Series one?
Yes.
Because I don't know how different the newer one is from Bad Batch with the cape. I don't know how different the
That
actual
one
figure
is better, but besides the cape being on, because I love the cape, but sometimes I just want the.
You can probably can you take the cape? I'm sure you can take it off, right?
I think when
You
I
have
first
it?
got the figure, I tried, but I almost like ripped the cape trying to do it.
Oh wow! I was assuming it could be something easy you could take off.
It's definitely. I think I got it off, but it definitely wasn't easy.
Interesting. I thought that would have been a bit more difficult. Man, this is a beautiful one. There's just so much good stuff. I was gonna pull up Maul just because we were talking about your favorite. I love this shot because of just how like his body language is so great because he's so just effortlessly just like
Yeah, just kind of like get out of my face while I'm choking you to death.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, this is a great shot. So favorite fig in the collection.
I'm gonna have
Great.
to go that one.
It's a great choice. It's a great choice. Hey, no chewing. Thanks for coming in, man. Hope you're doing well. All right. Well, that's actually the last question I've got for the actual thing. So I've got two normal just questions from me. Number one is what character or what? Come on, right? Well, I'm still gonna ask the question. But what character or whatever that does not yet exist in an action figure form do we need? If you could pick anything that's not a figure yet, what, and who would you like to make it too?
They have figures of this character, but they're not like really good figures. But I love How to Train Your Dragon, and I would love a toothless figure.
Yeah, that would be awesome, and I feel like very popular. Or like
me and my siblings love How to Train Your Dragon.
Cool. I think I've only seen the first two. There's a third one, and there's a show, right?
Yeah, I've seen all of them multiple times.
Yeah, they're great.
I mean, every single time a movie came out, either like me or my brother or me and both of my siblings would go see it multiple times in theaters.
That's awesome.
Like the first How to Train Your Dragon movie that came out in 2012, I saw it 6 times in theaters.
Wow, I don't think I've seen any movie 6 times. I think maybe 4 is the most. Cool. All right, that's really cool. So a high quality toothless.
Yeah.
Well, the live action. There's a live action How to Train Your Dragon movie coming.
It just started filming today.
Okay, I saw that today. Cool. I'm very curious to see how toothless will look.
Yeah, that I don't know. Sometimes I don't think it's Netflix is doing it.
Or sounds about right. Hope they put it in theaters.
No, Netflix is doing the last Avatar live action.
Yep.
But it sounds like Netflix is doing it, but I just can't remember.
Really? Yeah, I know it's a movie. I hope it, honestly. I hope it's not Netflix only because I want to see it in theaters.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it in theaters when it comes out. If it honestly looks horrible, I'm still probably gonna see it in theater.
It will be cool. I'm sure just the visuals alone will be awesome. Okay, cool. That's a great answer. Toothless figure. I like that. And okay, so my next question for you is, where do you see yourself as a toy photographer in 5 years? As my camera. Hey. Oh wait. Oh no. So yeah, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself as a toy photographer?
Still just posting photos that I enjoy doing. I enjoy it's a way for me to escape the world sometimes. And I just wish in 5 years I'm still enjoying it.
Well, I'm sure if you're still enjoying it, you'll still be doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah. I hope.
What are some things that you like to be like much more experienced with and better with in 5 years as like your toy photo skills?
practical effects.
Okay, practical, like what kind of practical effects? Like fireworks or
Pretty much
debris,
kind of just
action?
all of it, to be honest.
Cool. Just anything you can capture in camera.
It's like that's definitely something I want to get better at.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm sure in 5 years you'll have that more than mastered. By
That
then.
and like indoor photography.
Yeah. That's same here. Same here for sure.
I love all of your shots that are indoors.
Thank you. Yeah, you gotta find something that, as far as indoor stuff, you gotta find, because there's no, just like with outdoor, there's no one way you're supposed to do it. You know, you gotta find the way, one of those ways that works best for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you will. One thing that's tough about indoor too is most of the time you gotta have like a diorama or something.
That's I was kind of running into some of those challenges when I'm just like, maybe I don't want to leave the house today.
Right. Yeah. It's it's you'll find your thing. You'll find your thing for
I'll
sure.
find it.
Or maybe you don't always need diorama. That's not true. You can use computer screens.
That's true. I have wanted to give that a try too. I just haven't yet.
Tons of stuff to try.
I got so much more to try and learn.
Yeah. Or you can just take them on your kitchen counter like I do. There you go. Boom. Kitchen counter. That's
true.
Your...
That's true.
That's it.
Because sometimes you don't need a diorama.
Yeah, it is quite nice. Honestly, like I like shooting on my counter because I can have them interact with life-size objects, but like it's just right on my counter. It's very convenient. I don't have to set up any dioramas or anything or buy anything like that.
It's not super far, so you could just, it's like you don't feel like getting out of the house that day. You just go to your kitchen and
exactly. Cool, man. I think those are great goals. I think you're doing amazing. All of your photos look incredible, and you've got so many great goals to make those skills even better. And you did a great job today, going live. Very nicely done. You did a great job. However, am not.
I stopped panicking a little, like 10 minutes after it started.
Are you still in panic mode, or you feeling a little better?
I'm doing better.
Sorry,
sure.
my camera being out. Hopefully that doesn't make you feel like you're like by yourself up here, because you're not.
The center of attention.
No, it's just this. Elgato is like exposing itself right now for screwing up, even though I like Elgato. But cool, man. I appreciate you coming on and talking with me and going through the nerves and all of that stuff, and just giving us a great idea of all the stuff that you do. Is there actually, before I do say, is there anything else? Make sure you are following Mind Trick Photography on Instagram. And like I said before, I've got his stuff linked in the description of this video, so it's nice and easy. You can go and follow him there. I'm gonna refresh it and see if you've gotten to over any more followers since then. Nice. All right, like 30, almost 30. That's great. All right.
I was looking at my phone with notifications popping up, but I wasn't like looking. I didn't even realize them.
Sweet. Well, thank you everyone for going, and I hope more people do, as this video lives on YouTube forever. But thank you everyone for watching. Jared, thank you for everything, and I'm looking forward to seeing more shots from you. Your 1 year anniversary coming up, so make sure everyone goes and sees his 1 year anniversary post, whether it be a story post or just a photo thing. Anything else that you'd like to share, thank, before we finish it up?
Honestly, I just hope everyone has a good 2024.
Yeah, very nice.
Just remember, don't beat yourself up too hard with the photos if you don't like them.
Yes, and even if you take something that you don't love, there's something great to learn, to be learned from. Cool. All right. Well, great advice, man. And all right, I guess that's the last for my camera. Okay. Anyway, everyone have a great, wonderful rest of the day. Have a great Monday. Have a great week, and I'll see you all soon. See you later. Bye bye.